Extra time.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.
How do you approach your captaincy, KL, be it that franchise cricket, be it Indian team?
To be honest, I think the more I'm captaining, the more I'm realizing that the more instinctive calls I'm making, I'm getting more, I'm getting better results. So yeah, I mean, you try and read the situation of the game best possible, and then you really rely on your instinct. I'm somebody who will rely a little bit upon data as well. I do a little bit of homework before the game and try and sit with the analyst and see if there are patterns or there's a matchup or something like that. But after that, on the field, it's all instinct and what you feel is the best thing to do, what is the best call for your team in that particular situation.
You've been very close to Mahi, you're very close to Virat, Rohit, all of these people you have played with. Your thoughts on leadership, have you taken some stuff from them? Have you got your own? I'm sure you are thinking. You are one of those people who must have started thinking about how you want to lead your team. So your thoughts on your leadership philosophy, Hardik?
Obviously, I've learned a lot from everyone, especially Mahi Bhai, because when I went there, I was a raw material. The way he groomed me, the way he gave me that a lot of freedom, basically. He wanted me to make my own mistakes and learn. I genuinely thought, because not many people know, but in first class cricket, you generally have a senior guy who guides you in all the matches. If you play Ranji Trophy, you play. So I think 99.9% of people have come up to such higher, it's basically Indian team in that sort of culture. When I came there, obviously I was like, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is there, everything will be looked after and everything. But that time I thought, why Mahi Bhai is not saying a lot of things. I thought that he will tell me bowl here, bowl there, bowl there. But then later on with the years to come, I realized that he actually wanted me to learn my own so that I can survive more and harder. I can learn on my own. So, which obviously that point of time I didn't realize. It was kind of, I was on back foot, because I remember that I was the first guy who on debut gave 22 or 24 runs. And post that, I thought my first game and last game. But when he called me for second over, I don't know, maybe he wanted to see how much, how I can swim in deep waters apparently. So when he called me, I was like, I generally by mistake, I'm standing at the Xtra car, I'm looking behind, and I'm like, there I went, and obviously things change. But the kind of what I learned from him was that he never showed you that he's there, but he was always there behind the scenes. He always told me, not on the field, he wanted me to be rough, he wanted me to be learning things and everything, but behind I knew that he was always standing there making sure that this guy gets through. And my way of leadership is that you always do things. I mean, I set examples. For me, my leadership role means that I set example, I set culture, I set the attitude which the team wants to play with. I want to set the precedent where everything has to be followed. So my way of leadership is making sure that you take the team along. So my philosophy is not that too complicated. It's simple. You make sure everyone is in right spirit, make sure the environment is nice, make sure the players are feeling, at home, and eventually all the players find, once they get comfortable, everyone knows what their potential is.
Captain and leader are two different things. You are obviously a leader in that franchise. No two ways about it. My question is, how are you looking at the IPL? Because clearly you've had some great IPL knocks. Some of the stellar knocks have been you. Are you looking at it to try and open the doors for India white ball cricket as well? Is that tournament very important this particular year with the World Cup there? How do you want to push open the doors for the Indian team as far as white ball cricket is concerned? How are you approaching the IPL?
Very, very honestly, I think I am not focusing much on that. I'll be very honest with you. I think it's about, for me, the way I'm looking at IPL is that I have another opportunity to play for Punjab Kings, and I want to go out there and give my best, and then see, try and see how and where we can take the franchise. and definitely want to move and take the franchise forward. With that said, if obviously if I can perform well and the team does well, and all of that happens, and the franchise is moving ahead and good performances come, I think there is, and once all of that is done, I think the end result will take care of itself. I truly feel that as a player, if we think too much about, we try and connect this tournament to something else and jumble up, there's a good possible chance that I jumble up a lot of things. So the thought process is simple: go out there, give my best, make sure Punjab wins, make sure we take the team forward, make sure we take the franchise forward, and the rest of it will take care of itself.
Leading the Rajasthan Royals must be a real honor. I mean, a matter of pride. From the first season, winning it, and you've done well. You've come close multiple times. So talk to me about leader Sanju Samson. How do you as captain and leader approach a tournament like this? What is your thought process? Make me understand your mindset.
I think, to be very honest, I think first of all, I think if you have to be a good leader, first of all, you have to take care of your game and your mindset and yourself first. I think if you take care of yourself, then you are capable of leading the side actually. So to be very honest, you tick your marks. I think you practice well, you train well, you do everything possible for yourself first, and then it depends upon your team set. I think it's always, being a leader from last 1 or 2 years, leading different sides in my domestic team and as well as IPL. The number one thing which I've learned is about leading a side is, I think, more than leading a side inside the ground, it's a very much captain's role is done outside the ground. I think where type of a character, where you get to know your teammates, where you get to know different type of characters, where you get to understand and learn that what type of a person needs to be communicated in which way. Actually, the communication plays a huge role, and then comes in trust actually. So I think almost everyone getting selected in IPL definitely has a great talent. They all are very special at what they do. But as a leader, I have understood that you need to trust that talent. You need to trust that character and give him that confidence to go out there and express himself. I think at the same time, being a bit real to him, understanding him that what type of a character is demanded out of him, what type of a role is demanded out of him. To be very honest, you need to be realistic to the players and communicate whatever you feel like at the start of the tournament, and that gives them an exact amount of time to prepare and then go after it.
How do you see yourself? I mean, when you became captain to now, how have you evolved as a leader, and what is your philosophy of leadership?
In a lot of ways, it's probably easier to ask other people some of those questions, but you do try and put your energy in the right, what you deem to be the right places, which is the growth of the group, how you want to see it track, which I suppose falls under the word vision, and know that along the road you have all these different bits and pieces that sometimes go your way and sometimes don't, but if you keep the scope wide and hopefully see it tracking in the right direction and continue to look at the bigger picture, then hopefully your decision making is less fickle and more aligned with that vision and the direction you want to go. But those things that were mentioned with Clive Lloyd and the West Indian side are always important. Trust and trying to make players feel like they belong and have a real importance in the group, and what underpins that I think would be the most important thing. So there's so many good words out there that apply, but what are the actions and behaviours that support it? So there's a real feeling of trust and a real feeling of belonging, rather than perhaps words on a whiteboard at times. So there's some difference in that, yeah.
This is Xtra Time! Xtra Time!